budget submitted.
And talk about perfect timing when we talk about President Obama's latest budget proposal. We welcome Congressman Tim Griffin of our
Thank you for having me.
second congressional district. And to begin with, I like what you told me before we came on, that this is a starting point. Explain that.
That's right. Well, this is the beginning of the conversation. A lot of people hear that the president has proposed a budget and that he wants things to be a particular way in terms of what we spend money on and what have you. But last year, the president proposed a budget, of course, as he's supposed to do every year, and that budget got 0 votes in the Senate, controlled by his own party, 0. So just because the president proposes it does not mean that's the last word. It is simply the beginning of the conversation, if you will. We will certainly have a budget in the House. Now, the Senate normally would have a budget, but they haven't passed a budget in over 1,000 days, and that's a different conversation. I think they should pass a budget, but the president's budget's just the beginning of the conversation, and so I think it's important to point to make.
And we'll have our conversation now because it's out there, including a cut in the Pentagon by, I believe it was $5 billion, Little Rock Air Force Base. Is it threatened, do you know?
No. I have looked at some of the details. We've talked with some of the Air Force officials. I am not concerned about the air base as a whole. It is going to be just fine, and I'm going to keep fighting to make sure that's the case. It's a critical part not only of Arkansas, but of our national security. C-130s are the bread and butter, as you know, of a lot of what we do. But there is a modernization program for old C-130s that the president has talked about cutting or eliminating. And again, this is the beginning of the conversation.
Let's talk about the winners and losers in this budget proposal. First of all, the losers, cutting back on some of the funds, federal funds. Environmental Protection Agency cut by 2%. Housing and Urban Development cut by 7.5%. Agriculture down 3% in this budget proposal. You, as a shrinking government proponent, what's wrong with that?
Those are the top line numbers. Within those budgets, there are a lot of little line items. And there are some programs that I may believe need to be cut. There are others we need to cut even more. The smoke and mirrors often hide what's really going on here. Make no mistake, this is a budget that raises taxes $2 trillion. It spends record amounts of money, and this isn't going to get it done.
Well, it's a starting point.
It's a starting point. We're started.
It is underway. The gun has been fired. They're at the starting line. We'll see what happens.
We got a lot of work to do.
Congressman Griffin, thank you very much. Tim Griffin of the 2nd Congressional District. And by the way, you can get your own copy of the 2013 national budget right on your smartphone. This is the first time the budget is available on a mobile app. You won't be able to find it in the App Store. We have instructions on how to get it at today'sthv.com. Just click on the story. Liz and Dawn?
That'll put you to sleep.